Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, coming to you 6 days a week as we interview whitetail experts and hear their traditions and personal stories of the hunt. Learn more about the latest gear, discover proven tips, and the latest strategies so you can make your next hunt a success. Now, here's your host, Bruce Hutchin.
Whitetail Rendezvous is pleased to announce a partnership with GoHunt.com. Who's GoHunt.com? Well, if you're a DIY hunter, you need the information at GoHunt.com/insider. Why? Because it provides 4,200 profiles, every unit, every species, and every season. Furthermore, they give in-depth analysis, interactive maps, unit access, and seasonal trends. Draw odds are very important, and they give you the most accurate information in the business. All this is available when you go to GoHunt.com/insider. Make sure you use promo code WR when you join Insider. You'll get a $50 gift card for GoHunt.com Gear Shop. Remember, when you become a member of GoHunt.com/insider, you're going to get a $50 gift card to Go Hunt Gear Shop. What's in the gear shop? The best gear that you can buy for hunting the West. All in all, if you're hunting out West in 2018, GoHunt.com Insider is where you need to be to get all the research information. When you use promo code WR, Whitetail Rendezvous receives a small commission from GoHunt.com. Hey, folks, we got a new sponsor. It's called Buckwild Coffee. What's so special about Buckwild Coffee? Well, a gazillion people go to Starbucks every day and drink coffee. Well, why shouldn't Buckwild Coffee offer you light, medium, or dark roast with free shipping? All you have to do is go to whitetailrendezvous.com, go to shop, and order your coffee, and I'll ship it out for free. Hey, thanks so much for visiting Buckwild Coffee. The best brew in the West, the best brew around the campfire, the best brew in the hunting shack, the best brew anywhere. Buckwild Coffee. Get yours today. Hey, good afternoon, good evening, or good morning. Depends on where you are and where you're listening to Whitetail Rendezvous podcast. And we're with a special spring series for 2018. I've invited a couple of my close friends and business people that are in the outdoor industry and land management and food plots. And one of those guys that's been a partner all the way along this ride for Whitetail Rendezvous is John O'Brien, owner, operator, and chief seed planner at Grandpa Ray Outdoors. John, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Bruce, as always.
Well, I appreciate it. Folks, a little bit about John. John's got over 20 years as an agronomist. So he isn't a box store food planner. He's been in this business for a long time, and then you've heard from a couple of people. Eric Fitzgerald also has been in the business for a long time as an agronomist. And one thing these guys, great grandma, one thing that John does, he understands the process. He understands what happens in the first inch of soil. He understands the importance of moisture and sunlight and all that. And he's helped thousands of people earn a living, growing cows and growing crops. So with all that, I asked John to be part of the special spring series. The spring series is land management and food plots. Land management is a 3-part series. We're going to talk about 1, what is land management? 2, is land management for everyone? And 3, the expectations you should have if you would call up John and talk to him at Grandpa Ray about land management. So he's going to lay that out. So those are the 3 things. We're going to jump right in. John, and what the heck is land management? First it was food plots. Now everybody's got a sign out saying, I'm a land manager. Help me out here, buddy.
Yeah. The industry, you've been seeing a little bit of shift. You're going to continue to see a shift towards people spending money on consultants, land managers, trying to dial in your own particular wildlife program a little better. What is land management? That's a great question. Everybody would have a different interpretation. Everybody has a different expectation. Some people are also more focused on short term. And my little words that I want to throw at you and others out there is short-term planning is great, but long-term having a vision and trying to create a sustainable property, a sustainable program is the way to start. Short-term sacrifice sometimes in the short term, because I think all of us want to have not just instant success, short-term success. I think we want to enjoy the fruits of our labor for not just this year, but many years into the future.
So, John, you see it, I see it all over social media. Land management, and I think you said it well. Do you have just I'm leasing land for 3 years. What can I do real quick, down and dirty? And then I got a 5-year lease on this thing, or heck, the family owns this farm. So what do we need to do? I know on our farm along the Bear River, we did some timber cutting up on a ridge that hadn't been touched in how long, and it's all climax forest, and there was no undergrowth. And now we're gonna have a jungle fest. But we'll work on that. But having said that, a lot of people are thinking, okay, I got to do better for my land. I can't just go sit in the concussion stand and hope a deer comes by. And that stand was put up 10 years ago. So how does all that relate, what I just said, to land management?
Yeah, when anybody comes to me or at shows and we get into this topic, there's a series of questions that need to be asked to be able to give anybody a great answer versus just an answer. And so, whether you have a situation like yours, or maybe you have a 3-year, 5-year lease, that'll affect, your plan if you don't have a commitment where what you're doing today could be, utilized, for 5 years down the line. It's different if the guy owns the land and he's planning on owning the land for a number of years. No matter what the situation is, no matter if you have a lease or an ownership, no matter if you have 15 acres or 500 acres, they're still the same basic concepts. The first thing that I want to throw at people, though, is besides having a vision, besides having a plan, don't rush to start hacking trees. Don't rush to do too much too fast, because so many people make mistakes, and it's easy to make mistakes, and it's hard to make up for those. So again, I will recommend people surrounding yourself with a good team of land managers. So, for example, my focus and my specialty is soil, seed. There's guys that like Art Helen, that I believe you've actually interviewed a number of times. His specialty is timber stand improvement. There's other guys out there that specialize in water. So again, there's no one expert in the industry that can be an expert at all phases of property and land management. Guys like myself work with guys like Zach Haas on the water end, guys like Art Helen. So there might be 3-4 different sets of eyes looking at one property, working as a team with a long-term goal in mind. And I believe that's a sound approach, and something more people should consider, is making it a team approach to long-term sustainability.
Now, when you mentioned, you just mentioned timber, you just mentioned water, and, cover. Those are the 3 critical things that deer need to have. If you don't have those, you're not going to keep deer. They might come through, but you're not going to keep deer. So when somebody calls you up, are they calling you up specifically on the food plot? Are you walking the land and telling them how to lay out everything as far as food plots? Or do you yourself just bring in Art and say, hey, take a look at this timber? And, how do you work there at Grandpa Ray?
Yeah, there's cases where there might have already had other experts like Art Helen, guys like Jim Ward, Tony LaPrade, other people like that might have already been on the property. And people get a hold of me because they've already got their property laid out. Maybe their stand locations are laid out. And now they're really wanting to dial in, the food plots. But there's other cases, too, where maybe I'm the first guy on the property. And, even though I'm pretty good with helping people lay out, hey, this is a great spot for putting your stand. Here's a spot that'd probably be ideal for putting water. Here's some habitat areas that you should look at doing. So there's all different situations. And for me, there's no right or wrong answer as far as, Should I be on the property first? Should I be out there after your property's already been laid out? For what I do, somebody gets a hold of me, I do ask those questions. Has anybody been there before? If there has, did the guy do a bunch of hinge cutting? Did he do a bunch of stump cutting? What has been on your property? And then we'll go from there based on what a guy is really wanting from me. And again, what they'll get from me is a whole different perspective than what they're going to get from most other people in the industry. Because again, I'm not just focused on, okay, let's just plant something this year. Here's some of the better things you could plant this year. I'm looking at their specific goals. Factors like, how many deer are on your property? What are the neighbors doing? A whole list of questions that will affect all these other factors as far as where do you cut trees if you cut trees? Where do you put water if you need to put water? Where to put food plots? Because it isn't just, hey, what are you looking at doing in your property? Your neighbors can have a huge influence on what we're going to decide to do. And when I say we, it could be me and the individual, could be me and other team members that are working with the client on their property. Those are things that most people don't think about.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm just thinking back to the couple of the guys that and companies I've already recorded last week or so, and you're bringing a little different set of eyes, if you will, to the whole process. And folks, that's what this thing is. And, I've come to realize it's a whole process. There's no right way or wrong way, but it's a process that if you want to have deer consistently and grow deer and have it on a long-term basis, you need to change it up. So let's talk about, from the land management, changing it up. As I mentioned, we got stands on our farm, 10, 15 years old, and I've lobbied a long time. All the wooden stands, need to come down. They say, well, nobody uses it anymore, but I still think they should come down aesthetically. But, you need to change up your stand, and that's part of land management. You do a crop rotation, but you should think about a stand location because things change. What would change on a land? I know Grandpa Ray Farm, you've got some stand that have been a long time. Why do you change up those stand placements? Hey, folks, a special edition of Whitetail Roundtable is coming. I've asked 3 companies, Land and Legacy, Rackology, and Grandpa Ray Outdoors, to be part of a series on land management and food plots. So the next few episodes, about 18 of them, in fact, are going to be about either land management or food plots. Why? Because people have been asking me a lot of questions. So I went out and chatted with some guys, and Adam Keith and Matt Dye from Land and Legacy is joining the crew. And at Rackology, we have Jason Obermiller and Eric Fitzgerald. And rounding out the team is Grandpa Ray Outdoors with John O'Brien. Each of them is going to bring a different flavor on what is land management, what are food plots, why you need them, the pros and cons. So listen up to this next series, and I sure hope you like them. If you like them, let me know. If you don't like them, let me know what I can do better. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.